Shalom, this is Yud Gimel. I want to share with you the movements I do for counting the Omer, the movements coming from Otiot Chayot, movements for healing and renewal, Hebrew letter movements for healing and renewal. And I want to count with you today the 13th day of the Omer, which in the Sephirah counting is Yesod Sheba Gavura. And I am wearing clothes that remind me of that in terms of the rainbow system of equivalence. I have a red top for Yesod and a blue skirt for Gavura. And because today is Wednesday, I have a yellow scarf to remind me that the Wednesdays of every week is Netzach. The movements I do are the Nikudot that correspond to the Sephirot on the tree of life, the Kabbalistic tree of life. So the one that corresponds to Yesod is the Shuruk. And for each of the movements, I'm going to face a little bit to the side for this. I move my feet shoulder width apart, parallel to each other, with knees bent. The Shuruk I form by bending my head slightly forward and using my spine as the long part of the Shuruk, making a dot in front of myself by putting all my fingers together like this, and then I go, ooh. It's connection, relationship, ooh, intimacy, communication. So I think of it as speaking from my heart. Ooh, I go outward from my heart and do a little bit of a circle there. Ooh. And I'll do it facing you so you can see this way as well. Ooh. And then for Gavura, I do the Shvanach, which is one dot on top of the other. A sense of setting boundaries and limits and getting strength from knowing the clear boundaries. And so you do right hand high, left hand underneath, making two dots as if you're holding two dots in front of you. It's a short sound, the Shvanach. This is for the whole week. And what I do for this day, for Yesod Sheba Gavura, I start with the movement for Yesod, and then I do the movement for Gavura, and I do it 3 times, one for each level of my soul, for Nefesh, Ruach, and Neshama, that it may be a cleansing, a purification, a sanctification of how I behave with that combination of Sephirah, that combination of God's attributes. So, Yesod, ooh, Sheba Gavura. Ooh. Ooh. See how that feels, knees slightly bent, hanging from a string supported by the earth. Then I've been adding the letter for the day, which is based on the middle verse of Psalm 67. And in that middle verse, the 13th letter is an Alef for today. So this is how I would do an Alef. It's stretching out, one foot out, going onto that foot, one hand facing up at an angle, one hanging from a string, and then back forming a oneness. So the Aleph is the letter of the day, but also it's part of the counting. You count 13, which is a Yud and a Gimel. So 13 days, which is 1 week which is an Aleph, 1, and 6 days, and 6 is a Vav. So I bless us that on this 13th day of the Omer, we are able to unblock those parts of us that are in relationship, communicating with others, and having a relationship, whether it's a person or things. We have a fixing at the level of being able to, in the realm of being able to set boundaries and to have clear distinctions, make good judgments, priority setting. The Vora has to do with priorities, knowing what comes first and what comes second. And may we have a blessed day for this 13th day of the Omer.